Hello, everyone. Terrific to have you with us once again here on Tassie Rules Tasmania's Footy Show. Set for another big show coming up. Special guests joining us and plenty of features on the women's footy as well. Rep Footy is going to be dominating the show this week, and our club in focus, we're going to focus a little bit differently. We're going to actually do it on the Darwin Football Association because there are no games. It is Rep Footy, and they'll be playing on Friday night, so we'll take a look at that game as well. But as we do each and every week, the photos have been rolling in, and we've got a select few that have made it through to tonight's show, and we'll also announce a winner with thanks to the Little Rivers Brewing Company. All right, great selection of photos sent in from some regulars, but also some new spectators who've been out and about, sent their photos in as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And the winner's going to take home a Crafty Cuts pack with thanks to Little Rivers Brewing Company. So let's have a look, and we must thank Anna Cornish. She sends us in some beauties every single week, and this is no exception. Have a look at the Southeast Giants, the under-9s. They're ready to high-five the Dodgers Ferry team, the ladies team, as they come off the ground. It's such an inclusive club down there, doing some absolutely fantastic things with the senior men, the senior women and the juniors. So thank you to Anna for sending that in. Tom Smith, he sent us in our next one. Now, this is taken up at Bothwell, where the Rabbits, the Bothwell Rabbits, they were taking on Woodsdale in the Oaklands District Football Association. So great to get that photo from Tom up there in the high country. And next up, DCP photos. This is the New Norfolk versus Huonville SFLW clash from last weekend as well, the Division 2 clash. Is New Norfolk against Huonville. So that is a great photo there sent in to us by DCP Photos. But our winner this week, this is a ripper, sent in by Mallory Shipper. Now, we must credit the photo was actually taken by R. Williams. This is under 12 South Launceston player Will Shipper with a pretty cool-looking scissor kick, overhead kick there in the NTJFA clash last weekend. That is down at Windsor Park. So absolute beauty there. Thanks to Mallory for sending it in. R. Williams, the photographer, a beauty. That is our winner for this week on the show with thanks to Little Rivers. Get your photos in across the weekend. You might be heading out to the rep games. Of course, a lot of club games not happening this weekend. Please send it in. We would love to see it. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Big game coming up at UTAS Stadium this Saturday. And we're going to be joined by a rising star at the Hawthorn Footy Club. He's played every game this season. Cam McKenzie will be with us next.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
Great to have your company on Tassie Rules, Tasmania's local footy show. Well, AFL action round 13. Can you believe that? It is back in Launceston this coming Saturday afternoon at UTAS Stadium when the Hawks are going to take on the GWS Giants. Now, Hawthorn made it 4 wins from their last 5 after a 27-point win over Adelaide last Saturday at the MCG. And with an impressive win-loss ratio at UTAS Stadium, promises to be a cracking game this Saturday against the Giants. Now, one young man is enjoying a terrific 2024. He's played every game this season. Been good enough to join us on the program this week is Cam McKenzie. G'day, Cam. Good to have you with us. Thanks for your time, mate.
No worries, mate. Great to be on.
And no doubt looking forward to coming down Launceston and hopefully keeping the good form going.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely love playing in Tassie. It's like a home away from home. So, yeah, very excited to get back down there and hopefully get another win on the board.
Now, obviously, this is your second year with the Hawks. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the record down in Hawthorn, they've won 73% of the matches they've played, 58 from 79. It's quite a record. In your time down here, do you talk much about it as a unit in terms of your record that you've got and you know, why do you think it is so strong?
I'm not sure. We all love playing down here there in Tassie, so it's definitely one of our favourite grounds. And me personally, I've always said that it's certainly one of my favourites to play at. But yeah, the record's amazing, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure why that is, but we seem to to love coming down and playing there in front of our fans.
Now, we certainly like it. Of course, you experienced a few weeks ago that nail-biting win over the Saints, and 15,500 people at Ep10 Stadium. They can make quite a noise, can't they? Particularly when in the dying moments when the game's close. That must help.
Yeah, geez, yeah, it did get loud. It definitely seemed like there was more than that there. So hopefully everyone can come down again this week, and hopefully we get the similar result.
Absolutely. Now, you were taken pick number 7 at the 2022 draft and made your debut in round 1 last year. I think it was against Essendon. But something I've seen right from the outset, Cam, you always seem very assured over the ball. You seem to have time. Is that a part of your game? Like it just seems like you've got that little bit of time, which shows the class I think that you've got and the consistency you've developed into your game. Is that something that you've worked a lot on? Because you seem to pick the right spots to be and maybe have that split second longer and making some really good decisions.
Yeah, definitely something that I work on. I think something that I pride myself on is my composure with the footy and making the correct decision as much as I possibly can. So yeah, do a lot of work with the other midfielders around me, like Will Day, John Newcombe, all them who have similar strengths, and and we sort of try and complement each other and try and do what's best for the team.
Obviously, the last couple of weeks have been terrific, and the last 5 weeks or so have been terrific. I'd like to delve into post that Port Adelaide game, because a lot of people talk about that game, but I'd actually like to get your view on the fact a lot of teams, and particularly young teams, and I think you've either got the youngest or one of the youngest lists in the competition, but what was so impressive was how you reacted, because I think a lot of young sides could probably just drop their heads and you might see a dip in form. You guys played last year's grand finalists a couple of weeks ago, Brisbane, and bounced them, and also the Adelaide Crows. So is that a real sign of maturity amongst the club? And how did you approach, I guess, the aftermath of that Port Adelaide game?
Yeah, I think so. I think it definitely shows we're maturing as a group, and I think the main thing is just our want and desire to win. We definitely feel like we're good enough to compete with any opposition, and we definitely felt we showed that against Port Adelaide, but just obviously fell short. But in terms of bouncing back, we sort of have a 48-hour rule where, whether we win or lose, we can be happy or sad for that amount of time. But after that, it's just about the week ahead and who the opposition we're playing that week. So that's sort of the way we think about it as a team, and the way, we're able to keep our head level and just get ready for the next opposition.
Yeah, it's a great insight. That's really good to know, and I guess for the fans out there as well. You played the Giants last season a couple of times, 13 and 2-point losses, so preliminary finalists from last year as well. But you must take a lot of confidence into the game this Saturday down in Launceston. How are you approaching this one? Because obviously all of a sudden you're only a couple of wins out of the 8. I know you're probably not talking about it, but you must take a lot of confidence into every game now, given you've beaten a lot of teams higher above you on the ladder.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely feels like these last few weeks where our confidence has lifted. I think at the start of the year we felt like we're a good side, but we just weren't able to be consistent enough to be able to compete with better opposition for 4 quarters. But now I feel like each week we're going into games where we feel like we can beat anyone, and definitely this week we feel like we're a big chance against the quality opposition in the Giants. But yeah, we're very excited, and we can't wait to get over to Launceston and see what we got.
That should be a cracker. Just a word on the man. He's going to pop up on our screen now, Jack Gunston, who there you were in the change rooms there, and nice to be next to him after his 250th game. Great celebration, but obviously, what sort of influence has he had on the playing group, having someone who's played 250 games, particularly for a young side?
Yeah, he's been great. For us young guys, he's been amazing, just with the amount of knowledge and insight he can give us into how to be consistent at the highest level. I think obviously he's a forward, and he's been able to help a lot of the other younger guys. There's obviously been a lot of talk about Kalsher and how much Jack's been able to help him with his development in such a short amount of time. So he's been great, and yeah, he's such a great bloke and an awesome person to have around the club. Not just for the young guys, but for everyone.
No, terrific fella. Well summarised. Cam, look, thanks for joining us on the show, and it's been terrific to see your development as a player. I mean, you've had a really consistent season in a side that's obviously got a great midfield. Obviously, Will Day coming back into the side as well, but it's been an impressive start to the season. We hope that it continues. As a Hawk supporter all my life, down here in Launceston this weekend, but we look forward to seeing you down here. It is a little bit colder than when you were here a few weeks ago too, mate, so maybe just pack an extra jacket for that warm-up pre-game. But good to have you on the show.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure. That's Cam McKenzie joining us from the Hawthorn Footy Club. We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, it is our Club in Focus.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery. For sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
So thanks to Harrison Agents, it's Clubs in Focus with a little bit of a difference this week because Rep Footy is going to be dominating local football around Tasmania, and Wivenhoe in the state's northwest is going to be the focus this Friday night when the Darwin Football Association take on the NWFA. Should be a beauty. Last year, these two sides met for the first time in about 6 or 7 years, and it'll be a great night Friday night. So if you're down in the Burnie, Wivenhoe area, the under-23s, that'll be on first at 6:15, and then at 8 p.m, the seniors will be getting underway. So we thought very appropriate that we would catch up with the Darwin Football Association coach, Toby Lutwich, who's been good enough to join us. G'day, Toby. Good to see you, mate, and thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks for having me.
How important are days like this? Because as I said, there was a fair old recess between Darwin and the NWFA playing a rep game until last year, but is it something that you guys really look forward to on the football calendar?
Yeah, look, it's been great that rep footy's been back for the Darwin and the NWFA. I think players definitely noticed its absence there for that 6 or 7 year period. And I suppose you see a lot of the other comps around Tassie playing rep footy, and our competitions weren't. So it was, I suppose, it was player driven last year. Players from sort of both associations were really keen to get it back, and so we had the game last year, and the NWFA hosted that edition at Ulverston.
Yep.
And then I suppose, we definitely made the commitment to have 2 years so that the DFA could then host one at Wivenhoe. So,
terrific.
Really good for us to be able to host one at Wivenhoe this week.
No, indeed. And if we reflect, not for too long, because obviously the NWFA won last year, but with the senior game in particular, it was only, I think, looking back, about under a goal the margin at three-quarter time, and they just ran over the top in the end. But how are you feeling about it this year?
Yeah, look, obviously last year the NWFA played very well. I think, they just came to play on the night in both games. I was a part of the under-23s, and it was a very similar game. They just sort of ran away in the last quarter, and then as you said, in the seniors it was really close at three-quarter time, anyone's game, but they ran away and took the chocolate. So I suppose that's probably spurred a few boys on that have really wanted to come back this year and have another crack to try and get that win. We're really excited. We're looking forward to it. The squad has come together quite nicely. Obviously, you're always going to have some blokes that are injured, or there's some unavailabilities amongst that. But I suppose it's just that the great thing about rep footy is it just gives that opportunity. It doesn't matter how your club's going throughout the year. You're going to have players from the top sides and the bottom sides, and you mesh it all together to just put a really good 22 together to go out and to do your association proud. So we're feeling confident, but you don't really know until you get there on the night. Like, you can feel confident and then you can go out and get smacked by 10 goals. So who knows?
No, that's right. That's the X factor.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I think both associations are pretty even, like in those top teams. So, no, look, it's going to be one to make sure you get along and watch.
Now, 8 o'clock on a Friday night. It's going to be getting a bit cold, Toby. How do you feel about a night game on Friday rather than the traditional Saturday at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, look, I think a 2 o'clock start would have been welcomed by all. But look, the opportunity, Wivenhoe's a great place to play night footy. What it does allow is obviously a long weekend, and blokes have got the weekend from playing their club footy, so it does give a bit of entertainment on the Friday night. So yeah, I think it is what it is, and we'll get out there regardless of the time and have a bit of fun with it and have a game.
And everyone gets the weekend off, so it's happy days, I guess. So, Toby, your team, the Queenstown Crows, they're absolutely flying at the moment. Undefeated, a percentage of 808. Is it one-way traffic in the competition?
It's definitely not one-way traffic, Rick. Look, it's one of those things. I'll give you the old footy cliche. Like we do, you do probably, which you do just take it that 1 week at a time. I think for us, as a group, we've played in the last 3 grand finals, but we've lost the last 2. So I suppose you take a lot. I'd like to think that we've learnt from that, and you know that you don't win premierships in May and June and July, but you definitely set them up, and it's about working on things in those months. And I suppose you can only go out there and do the best against who you're playing against. And so far this year, we're only 7 games in. We've played some really good footy, but we've got some things that we want to get better at. And we know clubs like Somerset and Ridgely come the end of the year, they're going to be champing at the bit to have a bit of a crack at us. So no, that top 3 is going to be really tight come the end of the year. And yeah, I think it's going to be a ripping final series for the Darwin, to be honest.
And you certainly, you're right, because you will be the hunted as we get into that second half of the season as well. And football on the West Coast, Toby, it's got such a rich history, and of course that famous gravel oval down there in beautiful Queenstown. How's footy travelling down the West Coast?
Look, personally, like we've really, I like to think it's going really well, I suppose, out of Queenstown. I mean, our football clubs were in a bit of a successful period. I mean, since 2017, we've made nothing less than a prelim. We've played in 3 grand finals. We've won one. We've won a reserves grand final, and that played in a couple of reserves grand finals as well. So, in regards to success for our footy club, on results, we're going really well. I feel like we've had lots of local kids down there playing, which is fantastic. They go through sort of the junior system down there, which needs work, but we've been able to bring a lot of kids into our senior program over the years, and I suppose match that with probably some experienced senior players that we've got. Yeah, you're right. We've got such a rich history of football on the West Coast. The Gravel's it's probably my favourite ground to play on. I mean, you talk about some of these muddy country grounds that you go and play on, but the gravel, the ball will always bounce, and it's hard on the knees and that, but you definitely get used to it. And I suppose we've been really lucky, like over 100 years of football down there. There's been some champions of football play on that ground and are from Queenstown. Like you look at Ian Stewart, he was born in Gormanston, played some football down there. Arthur Hodgson, who played for Carlton, like he was a champion down there. Like I think he made his senior debut in like 15 years old in the 40s. Like it's a bit unheard of. It's pretty common now, but not probably then. And then you've got blokes like Darren Creswell, he was a Strawn boy. Grant Birchall, who's born down there, played in 3 premierships for Hawthorn, or 4 premierships. And then you obviously have a bloke like Chris Fagan, who never played AFL, but he's obviously a successful AFL coach as well, and he cut his roots down there. So, yeah, there's been plenty of football identities that have gone on to bigger and better things that have had their time down on the West Coast, and they always speak very fondly of their memories from down on the gravel.
No, that's beautifully summarised, Toby, because it is a fantastic history down there. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get down there to the gravel oval sometime in the near future and maybe call a game or come and watch a game. Hey, it's been great to have you on the program today. Thank you for, we wish you well in the rep game on Friday night at Wivenhoe. And look forward to coming down there and catching up with the Queenstown Crows, hopefully not too far away. Good to have you with us. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, Rick. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for what you do for footy.
Thank you. That's Toby Lutwich joining us, who's the coach of the Darwin Football Association rep team coming up this Friday night. Of course, we've also got the rep series continuing on the long weekend down at North Hobart Oval, where the SFL are going to be taking on the NWFL in the senior men's and also in the women's competition. You can see all the details there up on your screen now. Tickets are available to purchase if you want to get in early. You've got the QR codes there that you can scan and buy your tickets. There's the schedule. Check it all out on our Facebook page as well. Time for a quick break, and we'll be back with women's footy very shortly here on the show.
Durable, reliable, heavy duty. Get the power you need from the people who know machinery for sales, parts, servicing and expert advice. Call DLM Machinery today or visit dlmmachinery.com.au.
All right, with thanks to Cleanaway, time now to look at women's football. And of course, it is Rep Footy, as we saw in our Club in Focus, that is dominating the football landscape in Tasmania this weekend. Now, the All-Star Series for the women got underway last weekend, and we can have a look at the schedule that's coming up. We've got this Saturday at 12:30 p.m. The SFL are going to be taking on the NWFL. That's at North Hobart Oval from 12:30 p.m. this Saturday. And then on Monday, it is a long weekend, at 1 p.m, the SFL will be taking on the NTFA senior women, also at North Hobart Oval. The under-20s will be playing a curtain raiser to that game. Also, all games are being live streamed via the AFL Tasmania YouTube channel. But last weekend, the Women's Statewide All-Star Series kicked off with an absolute thriller at Dial Park down in Penguin between the NWFL and the NTFA. So what we thought we'd do is we might play you a few highlights from the closing stages of an enthralling game down at Penguin.
Is very much anyone's game, this. On a knife's edge, this one poised as Olivia Smith couldn't quite control. Hill slung off her kick, just got it away in time. Paddled cleverly, though, onto Curtis. Curtis driving it, dangerous ball to Robinson, and Robinson bounces off onto her right and thumps it deep to Duffy. Reels in another one. Her contested marking has been a highlight. The finishing has been a little lacking at times, and this time just decides to set it up instead because Robinson was wide open. And he's not a player you want to leave all on her own. She was the difference last year. She kicked 2 in quarter number 3 today. This will be for a third to give her side the lead. For the first time today, Alice Robinson drives through. The best players on the park. Can she drive her side inside 50 here? Under 5 minutes remaining. No one can mark that one. Slapped cleverly, though, into the direction of Chloe Haynes. A high up and under. Sawards juggles the mark. Shania Saward. And an enormous kick coming up here. She can go back and put her side ahead with 4 minutes remaining. Shania Saward with the big pressure kick. Can she rise to the occasion here? She takes the mark. She goes back. And she seizes the moment for the Northwest. They lead by 2 with 4 minutes to go. Shania Saward.
So in the end, that goal from Shania Saward was the difference in the final result. The NWFL winning 6-4-40, defeating the NTFA women 5-8-38. Great goal there from Alice Robinson. They hit the front for the first time in the day in that last quarter at about the 11.5-minute mark, as we saw. Great response from the NWFL in the closing minutes. And it all gets underway again on the weekend, as we saw on the schedule, with the matches on Saturday and Monday down at North Hobart Oval. So that is women's footy. Rep Footy is all the rage this weekend. Now, just before we do leave you tonight as well, just a reminder on the Hawthorn GWS game coming up on Saturday. But it is very much about celebrating community football, the volunteers on a Saturday at the footy, those that are in the canteen and everyone behind the scenes. supporting and promoting the volunteers, and we hope to see plenty at UTAS Stadium, particularly with no NTFA football being played in the north of the state and rep footy being played as well down at North Hobart on Saturday and Monday. We hope to see plenty of people down here. But here's a great little video package that we had sent through from the Hawthorn Football Club that really summarises how important our volunteers are in community football.
We're standing at the home of the Mighty Magpies. And I've been junior director for the Scottsdale Football Club for the past 7 years. Well, I'm usually the first here. I can arrive from 7 a.m. and sometimes I'm not leave till about 6 p.m. We normally set up all the canteen, the floats, the time box, gate.
At the moment, I help Tess coach the under-11 girls. I'm the runner for the under-16 boys and still playing football in the reserves.
I do a lot of venue managing, but now I'm also under-16 team manager as well. After the day, we sweep change rooms, clean up and do it all over again the following week.
Manuel and Ange are next level. Do everything from strapping an ankle to making a soup.
Take the lollies each week and the bag of oranges cut up, so yeah, love it.
Even to their kids. Ruby, if she's not playing, then she's a runner. You know, the kids boundary umpire, they help in the canteen.
It's a club that I've been involved with all my life, and we'll continue on as long as I'm still standing up, I suppose.
Yeah, Scottsdale would not be Scottsdale without them. They are the heroes of the Scottsdale Football Club.
Certainly there are hours and hours that may go unnoticed, but certainly we thank them for it.
Yep, our local footy heroes are going to be celebrated at UTAS Stadium. 1:45, the main game gets underway this Saturday afternoon. Should be a cracker. Make sure you get down there. And that was just a great little snippet into the Scottsdale Football Club, but obviously that shows pretty much what happens at all clubs around Tasmania in community football. So from all of us here at Tassie Rules, Tasmania's Footy Show, we thank you for what you do. And it's the great part of our show, being able to delve into local footy. That is the program for this week. Get your photos in from across the weekend at the Rep Footy, and we look forward to your company next week here on the show.